It was hot enough to make this wild turkey pant like a puppy. Mind you, turkeys and other birds don't really have any other way to regulate their body temperature. But even with this breeze blowing, it was hot enough to make him pant. I was headed up into the mountains in the Highwood River Valley to try to get away from the heat a little bit myself. And it was slightly cooler, but it was also kind of smoky. I gotta admit though that I kind of like what it did to the light. It really brought out the greens and pinks and yellows. But even here along beautiful Etherington Creek, it was still pretty warm. I dipped my hand in here to splash some water on my face and it was almost bathwater-like. And the further I went into the mountains, the smokier it got. The smoke was really heavy over here along Cataract Creek. The valley is pretty wide and pretty flat, and the smoke just seemed to settle right in. I could barely see the mountains in the distance, and the ridges looked like somebody sketched them there. The setting sun was going down like a big orange ball. But I gotta say it, I really liked what it was doing to the light. It was evening light, of course, but that extra amber tint, it just added another dimension. It gave all the colors a little bit of an extra pop. Here along Wilkinson Creek it was nearly dark, but because of that soft amber light, everything just kind of glowed. Over in the Livingston River Valley, though, there wasn't as much smoke. I'm not sure why, but it was fairly clear. And with the sun now gone, it was getting kind of dark. But that's okay. One of the reasons I came up this way was to wait for the moon to rise. And as I waited up on Hailstone Butte, it looked like, could that be smoke off to the east? And then when the moon popped up, it showed that's exactly what it was. Backlit by moonlight, it just glowed against the night sky. And though the moon is quite often orange at this time of day, it looked even more so because of the smoke. And once the moon was up and bright in the sky, yeah, I could see smoke all around me. But again, I thought it looked pretty cool. So I drove back down into the Livingston Valley to poke around, and, well, sure enough, there wasn't very much smoke down there. The moonlight was bright enough in long exposures that it made it look like daytime. Wasn't really bright enough for video, but I tried. By 3:30 in the morning, I was getting a little sleepy, so I headed back up to the summit. Interesting light just came on up toward the moon. Not sure what that is. Oh, probably just another UFO. I tried to grab a little sleep and wait until dawn, but this logging truck came by and woke me up. And then when I looked down underneath the smoke to the east, another one was coming. So I headed back down out of the mountains. I think he's speeding. And waited for what I knew would be a gorgeous, smoky sunrise. But I did feel kind of guilty about enjoying the smoke once I found out it was coming from a forest fire that was also burning down the town of Jasper. Tragedy and beauty, though, often go hand in hand. And this time, they did.